Have you ever thought about how businesses can make a positive impact on society and the environment? Social responsibility is all about companies taking ethical actions to benefit people and the planet. In this course, we'll explore the different ways in which organizations can act responsibly and contribute to sustainable development. From engaging with stakeholders to managing supply chains and investing in socially responsible ventures, we'll cover a range of topics related to social responsibility. You'll learn about global initiatives such as the United Nations Global Compact and Sustainable Development Goals, as well as standards like ISO 26000 that provide guidance on integrating social responsibility into business operations. We'll also look at how companies communicate their social and environmental performance through CSR reports and how investors are increasingly seeking out socially responsible investments. By the end of this course, you'll have a deeper understanding of social responsibility and the role that businesses can play in creating a better world for everyone. Number 1. Social responsibility refers to an organization's commitment to act ethically and contribute to the economic, social, and environmental well-being of society. In today's society, businesses are expected to be more than just profit-driven entities. They are expected to act responsibly towards the communities they serve and the environment in which they operate. This is where the concept of social responsibility comes into play. Social responsibility refers to an organization's ethical obligations to consider the impact of its actions on society and the environment. It means that companies should not only focus on making profits but also take into account the welfare of their stakeholders, including employees, customers, suppliers, and the community. A socially responsible organization will take steps to ensure that its activities do not harm the environment or cause negative social impacts. They will also consider the welfare of their employees, providing fair wages, safe working conditions, and opportunities for growth and development. Moreover, a socially responsible organization will actively seek ways to give back to society, whether it is through charitable donations, community service, or sustainability initiatives. They will also be transparent about their actions and take responsibility for any negative impacts they may have caused. In today's increasingly interconnected world, social responsibility has become a vital aspect of business operations. Consumers are becoming more conscious of the impact their purchases have on the environment and society, and they are more likely to support companies that share their values. Therefore, companies that prioritize social responsibility can not only benefit society and the environment but also enhance their reputation and improve their bottom line. Number 2. The United Nations Global Compact is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, with a focus on promoting sustainable and responsible business practices. In today's world, businesses are not only expected to make profits but also to contribute to society and the environment. The United Nations Global Compact is an initiative that promotes sustainability and responsible business practices. It is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, and its goal is to create a sustainable and inclusive global economy that benefits all stakeholders. The United Nations Global Compact was launched in 2000 and is a call to companies to align their operations with 10 principles in the areas of human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. These principles reflect international norms and standards, and companies are encouraged to implement them within their spheres of influence. For example, the principles of the United Nations Global Compact are: 1. Human rights. Companies should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. 2. Labor. Companies should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining, the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor, the effective abolition of child labor, and the elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. 3. Environment. Companies should support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges, undertake initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility, and encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies. And 4. Anti-corruption. Companies should work against corruption in all its forms, including extortion and bribery. By joining the United Nations Global Compact, companies commit to implementing these principles and reporting on their progress. This promotes transparency and accountability, and enables stakeholders to see how companies are contributing to sustainable development. In conclusion, the United Nations Global Compact is an important initiative that promotes sustainability and responsible business practices. It provides a framework for companies to align their operations with international norms and standards, and encourages them to contribute to a sustainable and inclusive global economy. Number 3, the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, has developed a number of standards related to social responsibility, including ISO 26000, which provides guidance on integrating social responsibility into an organization's operations. Social responsibility is becoming increasingly important in the business world, and the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, is at the forefront of creating standards related to this area. ISO 26000 is a guidance standard that provides organizations with guidance on how to integrate social responsibility into their operations. This includes how to identify and engage with stakeholders, how to assess and address social and environmental impacts, and how to communicate effectively about their social responsibility efforts. ISO 26000 is not a certification standard, meaning that organizations cannot be certified to it. Instead, it is a voluntary guidance standard that encourages organizations to take a proactive approach to social responsibility. It can be used by any organization, regardless of its size, sector, or location. ISO 26000 provides a framework for organizations to identify and manage social responsibility issues in a way that is consistent with international best practices. Adopting ISO 26000 can bring a number of benefits to organizations. By integrating social responsibility into their operations, organizations can improve their reputation, build stronger relationships with stakeholders, and differentiate themselves from competitors. It can also help to reduce risks related to social and environmental issues, such as negative publicity or legal action. Additionally, integrating social responsibility into operations can help organizations to identify and capitalize on new opportunities, such as emerging markets or innovative business models. Overall, ISO 26000 provides a valuable framework for organizations looking to integrate social responsibility into their operations. By following the guidance provided in the standard, organizations can improve their reputation, reduce risk, and identify new opportunities that contribute to the economic, social, and environmental well-being of society. Number 4, stakeholder engagement is a critical component of social responsibility, as it involves understanding and responding to the needs and expectations of a range of stakeholders, including customers, employees, investors, and communities. Social responsibility involves recognizing and responding to the needs and expectations of various stakeholders. These stakeholders include customers, employees, shareholders, communities, and society as a whole. Effective stakeholder engagement requires open communication, transparency, and a willingness to listen and address concerns. When companies engage with stakeholders, they gain valuable insights into the social and environmental issues that matter most to these groups. This allows them to develop more effective and sustainable strategies that align with stakeholder expectations. It can also build trust and loyalty among stakeholders, which can be beneficial for the long-term success of the company. Stakeholder engagement can take many forms, including surveys, focus groups, public meetings, and social media. It can also involve partnering with stakeholders on initiatives that promote social responsibility and sustainability, such as community outreach programs or environmental conservation projects. However, stakeholder engagement is not a one-time activity. It requires ongoing effort and commitment to maintain positive relationships with stakeholders and ensure that their needs are being addressed. Companies that prioritize stakeholder engagement are more likely to be seen as responsible and ethical, which can help to attract and retain customers, employees, and investors. In short, stakeholder engagement is an important aspect of social responsibility. By engaging with stakeholders, companies can gain a better understanding of social and environmental issues and work to develop sustainable solutions that benefit both the company and society as a whole. Number 5, Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations in 2015, provide a framework for businesses to contribute to global efforts to end poverty, protect the planet and ensure prosperity for all. The Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 interconnected goals adopted by the United Nations in 2015. They provide a framework for businesses to contribute to global efforts to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. The SDGs are ambitious and call for action from governments, businesses, and individuals alike. Businesses can contribute to the SDGs by aligning their practices with the goals, including by reducing their environmental footprint, promoting social justice, and supporting economic growth. For example, a business might work to reduce its carbon footprint by using renewable energy sources, or it might invest in education and training programs to improve the economic opportunities of its employees and local communities. Adopting sustainable business practices not only helps to meet the SDGs but also makes good business sense. Consumers and investors are increasingly interested in supporting businesses that demonstrate a commitment to sustainability and social responsibility. By prioritizing sustainability, businesses can enhance their reputation, attract and retain customers and employees, and drive innovation. However, it is important to recognize that achieving the SDGs will require collaboration and partnership between businesses, governments, and civil society. Businesses must work in partnership with other stakeholders to address complex global challenges such as climate change, poverty, and inequality. Overall, the SDGs provide a roadmap for businesses to contribute to global efforts to build a more sustainable and equitable future. By aligning their practices with the goals, businesses can demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility and help to create a better world for all. Number 6, Corporate social responsibility reports provide a way for companies to communicate their social and environmental performance to stakeholders, including their progress towards achieving SDGs. Corporate social responsibility reports are becoming increasingly popular as companies realize the importance of communicating their social and environmental performance to stakeholders. CSR reports provide a platform for companies to showcase their efforts in contributing toward sustainable development goals and demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility. The contents of a CSR report can vary depending on the organization, but typically include information on the company's environmental impact, community engagement initiatives, human rights policies, and ethical business practices. By publishing a CSR report, companies can build trust and credibility with stakeholders, improve transparency and accountability, and attract socially responsible investors. CSR reports also enable companies to track their progress towards achieving SDGs. The 17 SDGs adopted by the United Nations in 2015 provide a framework for businesses to contribute to global efforts to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. By aligning their CSR initiatives with SDGs, companies can help address some of the world's most pressing issues while simultaneously improving their own sustainability and resilience. It's important to note that a CSR report should not be viewed as a marketing tool or a way to greenwash the company's image. Instead, it should be an honest and transparent account of the company's social and environmental performance, including both successes and areas for improvement. The report should also be easily accessible to stakeholders, such as customers, employees, investors, and communities. In conclusion, CSR reports are a powerful tool for companies to communicate their social and environmental performance, track progress towards SDGs, and build trust with stakeholders. As companies become more aware of their social responsibility, CSR reporting will continue to play an important role in driving sustainable business practices. Number 7, ethical supply chain management is an important aspect of social responsibility, and involves ensuring that suppliers and partners adhere to the same ethical standards and commitments as the company itself. As businesses increasingly operate in a globalized economy, it becomes crucial for them to ensure that their operations and supply chains are ethical and socially responsible. Ethical supply chain management is an important component of social responsibility, as it involves ensuring that suppliers and partners adhere to the same ethical standards and commitments as the company itself. Companies that practice ethical supply chain management prioritize the well-being of workers, communities, and the environment throughout their supply chains. This includes monitoring suppliers' compliance with labor laws and human rights standards, ensuring safe and healthy working conditions, and minimizing environmental impacts. The benefits of ethical supply chain management are numerous. Firstly, it helps to minimize reputational risks that may arise from negative publicity related to unethical practices. Secondly, it can help companies to attract socially conscious customers who value ethical business practices. Finally, it can lead to long-term benefits such as increased efficiency and reduced costs as suppliers are held to higher standards. However, implementing ethical supply chain management can be challenging. Companies need to be prepared to invest in monitoring and enforcing ethical standards, and to work closely with suppliers to ensure that they understand and comply with the company's commitments. They may also need to balance ethical considerations with other factors such as cost and efficiency. In conclusion, ethical supply chain management is a crucial aspect of social responsibility that helps companies to ensure that their operations and supply chains are ethical and sustainable. By prioritizing ethical considerations throughout their supply chains, companies can mitigate reputational risks, attract socially conscious customers, and achieve long-term benefits such as increased efficiency and reduced costs. Number 8. Environmental sustainability is a key focus of social responsibility, with many companies adopting measures such as energy and water efficiency, waste reduction, and use of renewable energy sources. Environmental sustainability is a growing concern for individuals, businesses, and governments around the world. As part of their social responsibility, companies are increasingly looking for ways to reduce their impact on the environment and promote sustainable practices. This includes measures such as reducing energy and water consumption, reducing waste, and switching to renewable energy sources. One of the key ways that companies are promoting environmental sustainability is by adopting green initiatives. These initiatives include the implementation of energy-efficient technologies, the use of sustainable materials, and the adoption of eco-friendly practices in their operations. By implementing these measures, companies are able to reduce their carbon footprint and contribute to global efforts to combat climate change. Another way that companies are promoting environmental sustainability is by setting ambitious sustainability goals. This includes commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, reduce waste, and promote renewable energy. Companies are also investing in research and development to develop new, sustainable products and technologies that can help reduce environmental impact. In addition to these measures, companies are also adopting sustainable supply chain practices. This involves working with suppliers and partners who share their commitment to sustainability, and ensuring that all aspects of the supply chain are environmentally responsible. This includes reducing packaging, using recycled materials, and sourcing materials from sustainable sources. Overall, environmental sustainability is a critical component of social responsibility. By promoting sustainable practices, companies can reduce their impact on the environment, contribute to global efforts to combat climate change, and help create a more sustainable future for all. Number 9. Human rights due diligence involves assessing and addressing potential human rights risks associated with a company's operations and supply chain. Human rights due diligence is a vital component of social responsibility for companies. It involves identifying and assessing any potential human rights risks that may arise from a company's operations, as well as its supply chain. This includes examining areas such as labor practices, working conditions, and human trafficking, as well as the impact of a company's operations on local communities and indigenous people. Companies are increasingly being held accountable for their impact on human rights, and human rights due diligence can help prevent and address any negative impacts. By conducting due diligence, companies can identify potential risks and take action to address them before they become serious problems. This can help to prevent harm to individuals and communities, as well as legal and reputational risks for the company. Human rights due diligence involves engagement with a range of stakeholders, including employees, customers, suppliers, and communities. It is important to involve these groups in the due diligence process, as they can provide valuable insights into the potential risks and impacts of a company's operations. Through collaboration and engagement with these stakeholders, companies can better understand their social and environmental impact, and work to address any potential risks or issues. Overall, human rights due diligence is a crucial aspect of social responsibility, and companies that prioritize this work are more likely to build trust with their stakeholders, protect their reputation, and contribute to the well-being of society as a whole. Number 10. Socially responsible investing is a growing trend, with investors seeking to invest in companies that demonstrate a commitment to social and environmental responsibility. Investors are increasingly seeking ways to make a positive impact with their investments, and socially responsible investing has emerged as a popular strategy. SRI involves investing in companies that prioritize social and environmental responsibility, as well as financial performance. With the rise of SRI, companies are facing greater pressure to prioritize their social and environmental impact. Investors are looking for companies that are committed to sustainable practices, as they recognize the long-term benefits of responsible business practices. Companies that prioritize social responsibility are better equipped to attract and retain socially conscious investors, as well as customers who value sustainability. These companies are also more likely to be seen as trustworthy and ethical, which can help build a positive reputation and improve stakeholder relations. However, it is important to note that SRI is not just about avoiding investments in companies with poor social or environmental records. Instead, it is about actively seeking out companies that are making a positive impact and supporting their efforts. SRI can take many forms, including investing in companies that prioritize renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, or fair labor practices. There are also a growing number of investment funds and platforms that specifically cater to socially responsible investors, making it easier than ever to invest in companies that align with personal values and beliefs. Overall, SRI is a powerful way to encourage companies to prioritize social and environmental responsibility, while also providing investors with the opportunity to make a positive impact with their investments.